IKhanWhisper here, and welcome to episode 2 of my Let's Play of Sorcery Part 1. I'll do a quick recap here of episode 1, but if you haven't seen that, go ahead and check that out. But pretty much we left this village here and went through the gates on a quest to retake a magic crown which was stolen from our kingdom. And we went through this little village of merchants and walked along this path and rescued an old man but we decided to head up these mountains and in the forest here, as opposed to taking this windy road this way. So we just camped for the night. We just woke up, and let's get started here. So, the second day of your journey begins in the morning cool. Still halfway between sleeping and waking, you feel the presence of your spirit, the baboon, close nearby. Its form has changed since you left Analand, just as you have changed, but it is still walking beside you. In the temple, they taught you that a prayer to your spirit could heal disease, lift curses, even save you from certain death, but the spirits are not generous and decline to help often, so you can ask the spirit's aid using the pray button. Said this: your spirit is the baboon, strong, social, and intelligent. The baboon will shy from danger, preferring to live in the safety of the trees rather than risk exposure on the ground. So it'll heal us, but after a prayer, it will not hear you again for some time. So we need a little bit of health. So let's go ahead and do that. I don't know how long it's gonna be before we can use it again, but let's just do it anyway. You can feel yourself getting accustomed to the fetid air of these hills. You have now ascended several hundred feet and can expect to make excellent progress before the end of the day. As you crest the brow of a hill, you see something that makes you stop in your tracks. To your left is a clearing, and in the clearing are several poles, planted firmly in the ground, and atop each pole is a head. Let's look at the heads. The heads are of all kinds and ages. Some are recently fixed, while others have decayed, and some are nothing but skulls and hair. There are human heads, goblin heads, and one or two heads of creatures you do not recognize. All have sewn up eyes and mouths. A large X painted on a rock nearby is obviously intended as a warning not to venture any further. But ahead the road forks left and right, and you cannot be sure which path you are warned not to take. The right-hand path continues to climb, and the left-hand path winds down the side of the hill. So let's see, this one crosses the Simsosa River and across a bridge. But bridges sometimes have trolls living under them, right? Or we could climb and get to the Schanker Mines, which also has a bridge. But let's check out the mines, right? That sounds exciting. Let's continue to climb. The climb continues up the next hill for several hours until you are not far from the top. Then the faint sound of bustling activity reaches you. trudge in and out of the opening, carrying large bowls in their arms, piled up with glistening rocks and dull metallic nuggets. Let's watch them work. You stay hidden, getting a sense of the scale of the operation. There are at least 30 goblins inside the cave, each coming out every few minutes or so with a new bale of stones. Then there are other goblins working in the clearing with hammers, smashing the rocks into small pieces, extracting metals from inside, loading them into carts, and finally pushing the carts away down a wide track between the trees. It is quite some operation, but not without its weaknesses. There are too many goblins to create any kind of distraction, but they move away into the trees fairly often, and sometimes the cave is left unguarded. Oh, let's be risky. I don't know if I would do this actually, but let's try and do it. You creep closer, moving around the side of the hill, nearer to the entrance to the cave. Then when all is quiet, you seize your chance and race across the clearing to the mouth of the cave. So here we go, we're going inside. You pause a moment at the cave mouth, but no one has seen you. Following the passage cautiously, you move between the cool rock walls of the mine, passing and ignoring ladders that lead down into the clamoring heart of the mine, where 100 goblins sing as they work. Eventually, you reach a junction. And we can go left or right. Left is across the river. Let's go right. You follow the passage to the right. It twists around deeper into the hillside and ends in a sealed wooden door. We gotta try the door. You try the door. Locked. Let's cast the spell that opens it. Maybe I should read my spell book. Can I read the spell book? I was gonna cast like DOB or something. Let's see if that's even right. Wall. Physical barrier. Where's the one? Top. I was close. But yeah, let's cast Top. Okay. So let's do this. D-O-B. Wait, what? That was weird. Okay. Requires 1 stamina. You cast the spell. The door shudders as its lock turns over, and then the handle moves of its own accord. On your guard, you watch as it swings open. The room beyond is large and appears to be a storeroom of some kind. In one corner is a pile of black rocks, and more rocks are held in a bucket nearby. These flicker with a dull, glistening light, but most fearsome of all is what stands in the center of the space, a mechanical apparatus, perhaps a press or a stone cutter, being operated by a large and powerful ogre. And there he is, working the stone cutter there. He does not, for the moment, seem to have noticed you. Let's watch him work. Certain he has not noticed your sudden arrival in the room, you stay in the shadow and watch as the ogre goes about his task. He is dropping stones from the black pile into one end of the machine and turning a heavy handle, crunching the rock. Something is coming out the other side. To see what, you'd have to approach him, as he is between you and the outlet of the machine. Let's be crazy now. Boldly, you step out of the doorway and into the pool of candlelight that fills the room. The ogre stops working immediately and turns to face you, growling in possibly help. Is he a non-intelligent creature? Casting a spell on a non-intelligent attacking creature allows the caster to take control of the attacker's will for a short time. The attacker will cease, and the creature will immediately come under the control of the caster. I don't know how little intelligence it is. That's 3 stamina. What else do we have here? We could use big. It must be used with caution in confined spaces. But, I mean, he's in there. Let's actually try that. Let's try and get to that thing size. So where is a B? Is it not giving us one? Does it limit what spells we can cast by what letters are available? We could try something else, but let's just fight him. The ogre lifts a giant hammer and stomps towards you. So let's just defend. That was a good decision. That was crazy. For a huge beast, the ogre moves with surprising speed. Its hammer swings up like an executioner's sword. You raise your sword to cover your body and move back across the floor as it brings its hammer down with full force towards your skull. You are largely unscathed. It raises its hammer up across its body defensively. So I think it's going to defend now. And it just used all of its energy. So let's not use that much. Let's just do a little bit of damage here. Stealing your courage, you move in, aiming to trap the ogre against the cave wall. You chase the ogre with a passing blow. It blocks your blow with his hammer. It is left breathless, but otherwise unharmed. Its deep-set, stupid eyes are watching you closely, not wanting to take a risk. So he's probably going to attack, but let's try and overpower it. Oh, we didn't even have to do that hard. You strike again, moving swiftly. You aim for his heart, but the ogre turns away, as though not seeing the blow would stop it landing. But then you see its hide is like tough leather, and you barely scratch it. Cautious but angry, it stomps the earth with one enormous foot growling. So he's going to have more strength on this one. We could try and do this again. Oh, he barely did it. You lunge forwards again, moving quickly. You go a straight lunge for his eye, as the ogre swings for your head. The ogre stumbles, suddenly crashing into the machine, which almost buckles under the weight. Should we just go all in this time again? Let's do it. And we won. You strike again, moving efficiently. You thrust for his chest. Then you swing again, and the sword cleaves into the ogre's side. He gurgles unhappily as he slumps to the floor. You breathe a sigh of relief. You are still alive. So that went way better than I thought it probably would. So I think I'm getting the hang of the fighting system now. While the dying ogre heaves his last breath, and you investigate the room. Well, I don't think this ant needs to be here, but let's search the table first. see what happens, but you simply do not have the strength to make it move. Following the tubes and chutes of the machine, you discover a large gem, an emerald, about the size of your fist. It should be good for trade, around the value of 10 gold pieces. You place it carefully into your bag. Moving to the corners of the room, you do a careful sweep. After a few minutes, you come across something soot-covered, but solid. Wiping it with your tunic, you find it is a second large gem, which you take. You've searched the room thoroughly now. It is time to be going, before someone comes to find the ogre. You head back to the fork in the passage. The sunlight from outside is very tempting. So we could leave the mine and head back on the road, or go back through the fork. I think it might, we don't know what's over here, but if we go this way, we'd have to sneak past a whole bunch of goblins again. So maybe we should go this way on the fork. The passageway continues until you reach a large stone-cut door blocking your way forwards. For a mine, this place seems well built up. Perhaps it will serve as a camp if war comes. We gotta try the door handle. You try the door. It opens. The room beyond is dirty with soot from the mines, so it could almost be a pit filled with night itself, with crystals in the rock for stars. In the far wall, you can just make out another door, leading deeper into the mine. By the middle of the room is a table at which a large, filthy goblin is sitting. He raises his head as you enter and smells the air. Perhaps he is almost blind from so long underground. So there's the giant, filthy goblin. You smell is strange intruder, he challenges. You not permitted here. Let's try and talk to him. I'm a friend. Are you now? I'm not. The goblin rises to his feet. In his hand, he holds a large stone club. So let's fight him. He's a little bit weaker than the one that we just fought, and we're taller than him, so that's something. Let's start out by defending. I think that's a good way to gauge what they're going to do from that point forward. So he just did a little jab. The goblin beats its club into its open palm and paces towards you. You raise your sword to cover your body. As he tries to push you back with his club, you are mostly unhurt. His narrow eyes are watching you closely, not wanting to take a risk. So let's do a decent amount. Oh, he's just sticking to jabs. Stealing your courage, you move in, aiming to trap the goblin against the cave wall. Moving swiftly, you aim for his heart. He deflects as well as he can. He staggers against the cave wall, cautious but angry. He stomps the ground with one enormous foot, growling. So how much do we have left? Let's just do that again. Oh, he beat us. That's the time that we needed 4. You attempt an attack and suffer for it. The goblin lashes out with its club, taking 1 or 2 of your teeth with the blow. You are caught off balance. You stagger backwards into the table. So he's probably going to defend now, I think. Nope, he attacked again. Taking a chance, you move forwards. Moving quickly, you go a straight lunge for his eye as the goblin swings for your head. The goblin staggers suddenly. You have hurt him more than perhaps you thought. Now let's just go all in. Yeah, we lost 3 stamina. That wasn't that good, but we'll let's do it just to see what's going on. Okay. Oh, so he just defended that time. And we've read this already. So we'll just defend this time. We both defended. Let's go big this time then. Wow, he is just defending up a storm. Okay. We already read all this, so we won't worry about it. Okay, there we go. That was a good decision. Oh, he's back to defending. Let's just go all in again. Okay, much better that time. You lunge forwards once more, moving swiftly. You aim a straight lunge for his ribs. Then the goblin stumbles, and you have him. Your sword pierces right through his neck, and the club drops to the floor. With the goblin defeated, there is nothing to stop you moving further on into the mine. Let's search this room. But before you do, you quickly scour the corners of the dark room in case there is any gold or weapons lying around. You find nothing until you search the goblin himself. He is wearing a silver key on a chain around his neck. You lift it away. Okay, I wonder what that unlocks. Time to see what more this mine has to offer. Further into the mine we go. You open the door onto a pitch-black passageway. What is this? I guess we still gotta wait to cast another spell. Or a prayer, whatever that is. So let's see, do we have something to create light? Physical barrier, make a wall. You think it would be simple to create some light? We could do how? Yeah, I don't think there's anything that just create light. Go to bed. Once cast, the room turns pitch black. That's the opposite of what we want, I think. But there's still more spells here to go through. There's a lot more spells than I thought there was. Look at all these weird items that are required. Okay, let's not do that one. So I don't think we have anything that's gonna help us here. Unless we do how. Let's see if it'll let us do that. You throw up the spell and then consider both directions. In inside your mind, you begin to feel quite different as you face the door as when you face back into the room. The pitch-black passage deep into the mine evokes only a hot sweat, but looking back makes you feel calm. So it's probably not good to go in there, but we did have a key, and I'm kind of curious. So we're just gonna... Oh, the ceiling's coming apart. That's not good. You push on into the depths of the mine. Dust falls from the low ceiling. Your hand moves over the precarious wooden beams that hold the walls from tumbling in. Then you stumble, foot catching a support. The support cracks. A piece of rock the size of your head tumbles through a gap in the ceiling, narrowly missing your skull. A rain of stone and dust follows. Let's push on ahead. You are gripped by an insane idea, racing into the darkness of an unknown mine as the only exit is sealed off behind you. The crashing shaft behind you lends you speed, then suddenly you gasp as your foot fails to touch the ground below. You begin to drop. There can only be moments. Do we actually have any spell that would help in this situation? I'm not sure. The 6 most useful: Confuse, Firewall, Create Invisible Wall, maybe Foff. We can try that one. So let's see if we can... Doesn't look like there's any O's though. I guess we just gotta land well. You do your best to bring your body round to land well, but when you hit the ground, the impact is hard. I think we lost 3 health from that. That's not good. You pick yourself up and look around. You're at the base of a deep shaft. It's hard to be sure how far you've fallen, but the top is lost in darkness. Still, it's not pitch black down here. A chink of light penetrates from somewhere far away, a crack nearby, or a tunnel mouth a long way off. You cannot tell. Nursing your bruises, you start to walk towards the point of light. It gets larger, but slowly, and your hope lifts with every step. It's definitely a way out. You can see sky beyond. Your hands are running along the tunnel walls to keep you straight. Then the ceiling comes down, and you crawl for a few feet. Then you freeze. Your hand is resting on something furry. You pull back for a moment to see if the furry shape will move, but it stays still, asleep, or dead. At any rate, you cannot turn around and go another way. There is no other way to go. You reach out with the thinking that whatever it is at least small. Your grip closes on the thing. It's not warm, that's a good sign, and it squashes easily, as if its bones had been turned to jelly. You pull it closer to yourself and realize you're holding a pair of fur boots. You laugh with relief and quickly scramble the rest of the way along the tunnel to the sunlight. It's an opening. So I guess we didn't use that key that we found on anything in the mine, but we still have it. Let's leave the mine here. The climb out of the cave takes several hours, but it is worth every moment when you emerge into cool, fresh air once more. You have escaped with your life. Let's check out these boots. You turn the boots over in your hands. You recognize the fur. It is boar skin. They will be very useful if you head through snowy climbs. Then it is time to get moving. You set off once more, looking for a path to get your bearings attracts the beast's attention as it sniffs the air and then moves towards you, its sharp teeth on display. You will not be able to avoid a confrontation. The creature is a skunk bear, and when it raises its tail, it releases a nauseating odor. The smell that hangs around is terrible. So, let's try that spell, that law that enables you to control permanent or simple creatures, unintelligent. So let's try and cast that. Hopefully it'll let us do that. L-A-W. Oh, we need some health now. You cast the spell and hold your hands in the air. You command the creature to stay where it is. It is not happy and bellows and snarls at you, but it does not move, and you are able to step easily around it. The path leads down through another valley and back up another hill. 2 hours pass. We're almost to another town, but we should probably eat some food. We gained a little bit of health there, but I think we'll call this an episode and stop here. We're at a pretty good stopping point. We just explored the mines and defeated some strong enemies and evaded a skunk bear or whatever that was. So, thank you guys for watching. Leave a comment and a like if you enjoyed the video, and I appreciate from hearing from you guys and having you watch the video. So, see you guys next time.